Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to share with you all the things that I've been loving in the month of July. I actually didn't have a ton of new stuff to share with you this month, but I have a couple things that I used a lot this month that I am excited to rave about. Okay, the first thing is not new in July. I've actually had this product, not this one, but I've had this product for years, and I just forgot how much I needed it until this month, and that is my Gold Bond Friction Defense. This came up in my morning routine when I showed like where I stored this, and I store kind of my like normal go-to products, my deodorant, my face spray, all that stuff. And this stuff is a lifesaver, okay? I feel like it is very normal for everybody's thighs to rub together when they walk. It just, for females, whether you're wearing shorts that are a lot shorter or whether you're wearing a dress, like your thighs are gonna rub together. That's just what's gonna happen. This stuff is amazing. You can find it at the drugstore. It's usually on the aisle by like the foot stuff and like the Neosporin, like that kind of section, like baby powder, but like not by the baby stuff, but you know what I mean? Like that's where I usually find it. This stuff is amazing. You rub it on in between your legs before you leave the house and it just saves your life. I also picked up a second one this month to keep at my desk at work, because if I work out during lunch and then I take a quick body shower, it gets washed off, and then if I'm going somewhere after work and I need to reapply, now I have a backup. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna talk about are kind of two things that, again, I've been loving, I've been using for a long time, but I wanted to make sure that you're aware of them because I feel like recently I've talked to a couple people and they just had no idea what I was talking about. And it's two things related to YouTube. So the first one is YouTube Premium. So they offer something called YouTube Premium, and I'm pretty sure it's $15 a month is what I pay. And there's a couple of great features. The first one is you don't have to watch ads. So it's not even about skipping ads, like you don't have to watch them. And the question that I've gotten recently is, do you still get paid from YouTube Premium? And the answer is yes. So if you pay for YouTube Premium and you watch a creator that you like and they have ads turned on for that video, a piece of your YouTube Premium will go to the creator. The thing that I love YouTube Premium for the most actually is being able to download videos. And so for me, it's nice when I'm on the subway and I don't have any cell phone service, I can download YouTube videos and then watch them on the subway. It's also really nice to have on the airplane, or if you're just trying not to use up a lot of data, like you're going on a long bus ride or a car ride. When you're at home on the Wi-Fi, you can download a bunch of YouTube videos onto your phone or your iPad, and then when you're in the car, you can just binge watch them. I think there are other features with YouTube Premium, like music and maybe some other movies or something. I don't really know the details, because those are the two things that I love it for. The other thing about YouTube, another feature that I want to make sure you know about, is that you can change the speed of your video. So when you're watching on a mobile device, if you click the top three little dots in the top right hand corner, there's an option on there that says Playback Speed. This is a lifesaver for a couple of reasons. I mostly speed people up. I mostly watch people at 1.5 speed, maybe even a little bit faster if they talk slowly, and I get through videos so much quicker. Most people, I can understand what they're saying at 1.5 speed. Now, there might be some people like me who talk really fast, and 1.5 might be a little bit ridiculous, or you might even want to slow it down. Somebody recently asked a question saying that they didn't hear what I said because I was speaking too quickly, and I know that I have a tendency to talk fast. That's just something about me. I just am a quick talker. You can slow me down. You can go down into the playback speed and slow it down to 0.75 or 0.5. And for you, that might be a better option than speeding things up. Maybe there are certain YouTubers that you want to slow down. But the option to alter the speed at which you watch videos is a feature that I feel like not enough people know about, but something that I absolutely love. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna talk about is a habit, actually, and a product related to the habit, but it's more about the habit, actually. And this habit sort of stemmed from two places. The first one is I was listening to a podcast. It's a podcast I've talked about a lot. It's Detail Therapy with Amy Landino, and she had a skincare expert or somebody who owned a skincare brand on her podcast. And the woman was talking about how we sometimes wash our face too much, and sometimes you just need to let your face chill. And I was thinking about the fact that I have started like being very good about washing my face in the mornings, every single morning, and that maybe I'm kind of, it's getting to be a bit too much. Now, I talked about this in my morning routine. I do try to use a more gentle cleanser in the morning because all I'm washing my face from is the sweat overnight, the whatever kind of, particles or germs that accumulate on my face while I was sleeping, and then the products that I put on the night before, depending on what they are. Some of them might still be kind of sitting on the surface surface of my skin, and I want to get rid of those. So she mentioned that, and I was like, oh, maybe there's some mornings that I don't need to wash my face. Maybe I can just rinse it. And then I was watching a YouTube video from a channel that I like. I don't love every video they post, but I do subscribe to them. It's called Beauty Within, and it's these two women that talk about skincare products. And one of them was talking about how in the mornings she has just been using micellar water to sort of wipe her face down instead of actually washing it. So I decided to join the club, and it has been awesome. I have been, and I feel like such a fraud because I just posted a morning routine video where I talked about how, oh, I wash my face every morning. Here's the face wash that I use. And now I'm not doing that. I'm instead squeezing a little bit of this onto a cotton round, which I do want to try and get those reusable cotton rounds, because now that I'm using one every day, I wasn't using cotton rounds every day before, but now that I am, I feel very like not good for the environment to be using a disposable one every day, but that's another story for another day. So I squeeze a little bit of this onto a cotton round, and I just sort of wipe down my face and get, you know, the sweat and any of the germs that got on my face and any of the residual product, and it just feels so nice. It doesn't feel like I'm stripping my skin as much. It's way less work actually than to like put my face in the sink and wash it. And I've been loving this particular micellar water. It's the Simple brand micellar water, but I'm happy to take any recommendations. I mean, I've been using this every single day since like the end of June, and I've barely made a dent in it, so it's probably gonna be a long time before I need another one. But if you have another brand that you absolutely love, please let me know in the comments, because this habit has just been wonderful this month. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna talk about is a podcast, and I'm surprising myself by talking about this, and I'll tell you a little bit of the backstory. So if you've been around, you know that I love the Cultivate What Matters power sheets. Okay, they are one of my favorite things. I talked about them in January as a favorite thing, but the power sheets have absolutely changed my life this year, and I love them. I also love the creator of the power sheets. Her name is Laura Casey, and I follow her on Instagram, and I have both of her books, and I've read 1.5. I didn't quite finish the second one yet. And I really do admire her for what she has created, the life that she's created, the companies that she has created, multiple companies, and I enjoy following her and being inspired by her. So when she came out with a podcast months ago, I mean, this podcast came out in like February, I tried to listen to it. And the first 2 episodes are almost identical to her first book. It's like her story. And that's fair. Like if you're starting, you know, on a new platform, you can't assume that everybody has read your book. There's a lot of podcast listeners that aren't readers. And so you can't assume that everybody knows that. So the first 2 episodes are really like her story. And so I listened to them and I was like, I know this. Like, I read your book. I've heard this. I don't need to hear it again. Like, it is inspiring, and I do really look up to her, but there were parts of her story that I really don't relate to, and so I was like, I don't need to hear this again. So I just kind of stopped listening to it, and I was like, this isn't gonna be for me. I can still enjoy my power sheets. I can still enjoy like following her on social media, but I'm just not gonna listen to her podcast. So then when I was on the bus to Annapolis, remember that like 8-hour bus ride? If you did not see that weekly vlog, my 3.5-hour bus ride to Annapolis turned into over an 8-hour bus ride because of some traffic and then some driver complications and all kinds of stuff. So I ended up with a lot more time than I thought I was going to have on the bus. So I finished editing all the things I could finish editing, and I had some other things that I wanted to do that were writing, and I'd even paid extra for the seat at the table so I could write, but it was so bumpy that I just gave up on that. So I was like, well, I'm gonna catch up on all my podcasts. So I caught up on all the podcasts that I normally listen to, and then I was like, well, now what? So I was like, let me give Laura Casey another chance. And I ended up loving her podcast, and I am now all the way caught up, and I've listened to every single episode. There's only like 20 something episodes, but I'm completely caught up, and now I'm listening at like with the current new one each week, and I love it. Now I do want to give a fair warning and a clear caveat that she talks a lot about faith and religion, and that God and religion come up relatively frequently. So if that is something that you really like don't want to listen to and don't want that influence, then I completely respect that and just skip to the next favorite. But if you really like that inspiration and that kind of that background to the way that she approaches life, or you can just kind of look past it, I think that she has some incredible insights on accomplishing goals, making priorities in your life, saying no to things. Like, she just has a lot of great insights and a lot of great guests. guests that talk about these things. One of the recent episodes had a guest who talked about how to make better decisions in your life, and when it gets hard, making decisions is hard. All that to say, I think you should give her podcast a shot. I think if you've read her book or you don't really necessarily care about the background info, maybe skip the first couple of episodes that are really more her story and kind of start listening to when she talks about like actual goal setting and actionable steps. I think it's very valuable. There's a lot of great nuggets, a lot of great information, and it was the one podcast this month that I completely binged and listened to every single past episode and got all the way caught up. So I couldn't not mention it in this video. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna talk about is something I actually got in one of my FabFitFun boxes. And I've had a couple requests to do like an overall like throwback, and I might do that at the end of the year. Like, here are all the things from the FabFitFun boxes I got this year, and here's what I really liked, and here's what I didn't like, or here's what I thought I was gonna like and I ended up hating, etc. But this backpack I got in the spring box, and I remember picking it, and I did debate with whatever else was in that category. I was tempted to get that too, but I ended up going with the backpack, and I am so glad that I did. I finally started using it this month. So the first place I used it was on that trip to Annapolis, and I packed it because my stepmom was like, we're gonna be walking around a lot, we're gonna be doing a lot of tours. And so I was thinking, like, I don't want to take a shoulder bag because that's gonna like start to hurt my shoulder. But I want more than a crossbody, because my crossbody, even my largest one, will not hold my phone, my camera like holder, vloggy camera stand, my external battery charger, and then my sunglasses. They don't fit in my biggest crossbody bag. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pack this. It's still cute. So when I'm walking around the town, like, it'll still look cute, but this will very easily hold everything I need to hold and then some. I also could put a water bottle in here. I carried sunscreen. I carried a book just in case I like was bored and wanted to read. Like, this thing holds so much, but it still looks so cute, especially if you keep the inside ones snapped like so. Like, it looks so cute on my back. Now, I did get it a little bit dirty. I got some like lipstick on it there, and I got something on it here that I haven't figured out how to get off, but honestly, I'm just trying to not care about that and be too much of a perfectionist. But because I liked this so much on that trip, I've been using it all this month. Every time we're going somewhere and I'm leaving from home and not straight from work, this is what I use. Actually, even one time when I had a happy hour after work, I left my big backpack with like all my stuff at the office, and I just took this to the bar. So I've been using this so much this month. That's why it's so dirty. So I do highly recommend this, although I have to say, the price of the bag, I don't remember exactly what it was. Obviously, I got it in my FabFitFun. I vaguely remember it being somewhat pricey, to the point that I was like, oh, I don't know that I would pay full price for that. But at that point, I'd only seen it. I hadn't actually used it yet, so I'll look up the price when I'm editing. I'll probably take that back, and I probably would pay it because that's how much I love this bag, and it's such good quality that I mean, I put a lot of stuff in here, and it is totally fine. It didn't even come unsnapped at all when I was like walking around with it full. So highly recommend it. And I love that the straps were adjustable, so depending on how I was feeling, sometimes I would let it kind of dangle a little bit more if I didn't have as much in it, but if I put more in it, I would kind of pull it up a little bit more on my shoulders. So I really liked this bag. Okay, that's it. Those are all the things that I have been loving in the month of July. Let me know in the comments, is there anything, any summer item that you can't live without? For me, it's definitely that like inner thigh deodorant, let's just call it that, deodorant for the inner thighs. I can't make it through summer without that stuff. I absolutely love it. But let me know in the comments what you've been loving this summer, or what some of your summer essentials are. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning. Yes. So you still, so if you watch it, you're going on a long bus ride. Let me get my phone to make sure I'm saying this right. Hold on. It's like, that is just one of my features. They don't fit in my biggest crossbody. But at that point, I just seen it.